You've probably heard all the spiritual coaches and read manifestation content around the 3D, the 4D, even the 5D. But I guarantee you've not been taught how to access the 6D, as this is my own unique 6-step manifestation process. In this 2-part mid-year money manifestation mini series, I will be taking you through all 6 phases and showing you how to apply them to your own life, both personally and professionally. So buckle up because we're going on that abundance choo choo train. What up, my people, my posse, my fellow crazies? This is your host, Tiffany Carter, and you are listening to the show that is going to help you grow your business, your bank account, that big, beautiful brain of yours, your abundance, your relationships, and everything in between. We're doing an experiment with this mini series, and I am recording. If you're watching right now on YouTube, you're seeing the video of me. And normally, the only way you see videos of behind the scenes of this podcast is when I have guest interviews. So we're experimenting with the solo ones because I look absolutely crazy most of the time when I'm recording. And we want to see if you guys actually want to see me and hear me. Like if there's some value to that or there's some energy exchange that feels really good to you. Because some people will feel like it's more conversational. So then you can type in the comments below and really cement in and sink in to everything that I'm teaching you. I feel very vulnerable doing this. This feels really weird because I know I look insane. And not that I always look put together and perfect. I'm far from that. But I look like extra insane and I like am usually hunched over and I'm using like $100 mic that is attached to my 2013 MacBook to do all of this. So even the visual quality is probably not that great. But it's also a fair point to you guys. You too can have a top 30 podcast worldwide with a very out of date computer, a cheap microphone, and a hell of a lot of passion and determination for what it is you do. So, this whole 6D thing came up because I keep getting asked over on the TikTok land, what is your process? What is your manifestation process? And I'm like, I want to say, well, it's involved. You need to listen to the show, da da da. But like, I really got to thinking and sat with it. And I was like, no, I do have a process that has worked over and over again that is largely responsible for why I have millions in the bank, why I'm recording this, which you can't see because I'm faced the other direction. But I'm recording this looking out at the ocean on the waves. I've eyed the window open. You likely could even hear the waves. Why I've traveled all over the world for 5-star first class, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And it's because of this process. And I took a lot of time and sat with it and I've broken it down and it's the 6D. This is the reality. So part 1, we're going to cover 3 of the Ds. Part 2 are the other 3 Ds. And we only have so much mental bandwidth we can take in at a time. So I wanted to split it. So you definitely need to pair the series together. Please share this series with anyone who you feel would find it interesting. It would be helpful if they feel kind of stuck with their manifestations, if they're new to it, if they want to get into it. I'd really appreciate it. Also, we are about to close my gift giveaway for getting the Work Less and Make More. I'm going to be charging for this workbook, but you can get it for free right now by leaving a written Apple podcast review of the show, taking a screenshot and emailing it to support@projectmewithtiffany.com. You can swipe up and the instructions are in the show notes or they're below this video. And it's really that simple. Make sure you leave your name or Instagram or TikTok handle in the review so we can cross-reference. And then as soon as I close this giveaway, then you will be emailed out the workbook. Sure, you also don't have to do it and you can wait till I put it out and pay for it. But why do that when you can help support this show and do all of this in 30 seconds? I would say that's pretty worth it, wouldn't you think? But I know a lot of you guys have been emailing, where's the workbook? I'm so excited. Well, I've not closed this yet. And when I do, that's when you guys will have it sent out. So make sure you take the action because I'm about to close it. Okay, let's get into this damn thing. So these are in order for a reason. I'm a Virgo. I like things being in order. I like having a strategy. I like having a structure, but I have Sag somewhere in my chart. Like, I also like moments for divine inspiration and divine messaging and divine guidance. Like, I'm always available for that. So, first, I want you to be available for that while you're listening or while you're watching this or while you're doing both. That you are available for divine guidance and intervention and direction always, all the time. And that can be from God, if that's your thing. It could be from the universe, if that's your thing. It can be from a spirit guide. It can be from an angel. There are no rules. It's very personal to you. And don't let anyone fucking tell you otherwise, because what you believe is personal to you and sacred. The first D, desire. If you do not take time to explore, to daydream on what it is you truly desire, like dig deeper on what it is you desire, give yourself permission to even desire. Some of you, it's not felt safe to desire because desiring can feel vulnerable. Because if you desire something and then you don't get it, it really sucks. So this is a real step. There's a reason why it's the first step. It's that giving yourself permission to desire on a bigger level and go deeper and be really honest about what you want and try your best not to judge it, right? If you want to be able to travel the world and work while you travel the world or move your family across the country, or you're wanting to be a best-selling author or a public speaker, something like that, and it's like so far off from where you're at now, that's okay, right? But I want you to say, like, "This is possible for me, and I'm giving myself permission to desire it." When we deny ourselves of what we desire, you're blocking abundance. I need you to really hear this. So I'm gonna say it again. When you deny your deeper desires, you're blocking abundance. There's a form of you and a part of you that feels like you're keeping yourself safe and you're protecting yourself from disappointment or by the disappointment of not having it because maybe you've done things like this before or it happened when you were a kid and you had your hopes up and you were let down and it sucks. This is part of being a human on this planet. Not everything's going to go our way. We are going to have disappointments. We are going to get hurt by people. We are going to be redirected by the universe. And sometimes, really, all the time that that's happening is to prepare us for a bigger manifestation, is to redirect us. Sometimes it's not, we don't get to find out. You weren't supposed to have that person as a friend. You were not supposed to be married to that person for your entire life. You were not supposed to be at that job or get that client. Those things weren't gonna work out because they didn't go along with the bigger picture later on. And later on, in hindsight, you'll go, "Oh, I see why that happened." And sometimes we don't get to know in life. There's some things that have happened to me in my life that I'll likely never get to know why, and that's also okay. It's not always our business. That's where faith and trust in the divine is, right? We don't have to know everything in order to have what we want. So I really want you to sink in, allow room for, I call it like free brain time, where you can like daydream and stare off into a corner for 30 minutes and take distractions away. Or maybe for you, you need a little bit of help getting you in there. So maybe you need to like go buy a couple like kind of luxury magazines or scroll some like luxury websites or travel websites and like help get yourself in that mood, in that spot, almost like manifestation porn. That just came from my ass. From my ass. Also, I should warn everybody, not only are we doing this video experiment for YouTube, but I had pre-workout for the first time in a couple years today, and I am lit as fuck. So this is what you're getting today. I taught inside the posse. It was a fire training. It was all about what to share and how to share your offers and what to say, because that's where so many people get stuck. Like, what am I supposed to say? How am I supposed to talk about it? So I don't sound like an idiot. So I don't sound like a scam. So I don't annoy my people. And the training was fire, but I was like so lit that you need to join my posse membership just to see it. There are a couple new membership spots open inside my Project Be Posse business coaching membership that they aren't always available because I keep it capped at an intimate size so that you can have that group coaching experience. And we have people who've been in there like OGs for 3.5 years. There's a reason why the program is famous. That link is also in the show notes as well and in my bio on Instagram and TikTok. Second D, descriptive. This is more of an exercise. I know so many of you want to be journal writers, but you're not. And you wish you were that person, but you don't. And then if someone tells you to journal something like a coach or a therapist, you like die a slow death or get a rash. I understand I was one of those people, but I'm telling you, the truth comes out when you write. And I mean like writing with an actual pen. I have terrible handwriting. It's much easier for me to type. I type like Kermit the Frog on cocaine. Okay. Like the meme of Kermit the Frog being like a spaz, like typing everything. I'm not supposed to say spaz. Oh, I learned that from Beyonce. Scratch spaz, insert crazy person, lunatic. Is that allowed? I can't keep track of all these things I'm allowed to say and not to say. All right. Anyway, typing like a lunatic. But when you put pen to paper, and there's actual scientific proof of this, that things cement in, things become more true. The truth comes out, which is why so many of us avoid the journaling, avoid the writing. You know, they say like write a letter to someone you're upset at. You don't have to send it, but it gets it out. And then this is probably a good exercise to do, yet you keep avoiding it because there's going to be emotions and feelings and processing. But if you're wanting what you say you want and you want to learn my 6 Ds, this is part of it for a reason. This shit works. So descriptive, I want you to write as though you are already living in the desires you want. They've already been manifested. They're here. So I want you to write it's basically you're writing from your higher self. So before I got this beach house, even when I was in a different beach house that had a beautiful expansive view, but I really wanted to be like on the damn water and hear the waves. And this was up on a hill and the interior was a little dated. It wasn't my vibe. And once I got through the resistance of desiring it, of who do you think you are, Tiffany? You already have this. You're not like J-Lo. You're not some celebrity. Like, calm down here. Don't you think you have enough already? And all the nastiness that was in my brain. And I gave myself permission to desire and be worthy of having more. Why can't it be me? There's all these other people when I walk all up and down the Strand. It's called the Strand here. Other places, it's called like Ocean Avenue or A1A or a boardwalk. But walking up and down, seeing all these mansions on the beach, I don't sit there and go, who does that person think they are? No, I'm like, how cool would that be to wake up in the morning and you have like a coffee and you just get to like stare out into the waves. And even while you're making coffee, you can see the ocean from your kitchen. How cool, right? Okay, well, that's great to do that exercise and imagine it, but I need it to be in paper. I want you to write like from morning to the end of day, your ideal day, as though all the desires you're wanting are already true. They're already here. You're giving like a full diary entry of your day, of your future self, of the self that has manifested all the things. And you can even write things like, I am still pinching myself. I can't even believe that it's true, that it's here, that I manifested this. This is so incredible. Like, I always believed in manifestation, but there was part of me that doubted it. Like, I want you to speak in truth about it. Even go as far as like, what are you wearing? What color is your hair? What beverage are you drinking? Are you packing for a trip? What's your view look like? What city are you in? The more descriptive, the better. And I want you to do it all through that day, through that night. Now, I have clients that do it for an entire week, which is really cool. But let's just start with a day. And then I want you to reread it to yourself. And then you might decide you want to add things to it later. And then that's okay. Then we can always add things. But it's such a great exercise. I'm having on a guest soon that did this and manifested moving his entire family to Italy. And this was a key part of his process. And it moved me to tears, but I'm not going to give it away because that guest episode is coming soon. Okay. The third D. Every time I say D, by the way, I'm thinking of like big D energy, but I now call it big dollar energy. But yeah, we're all about that. We're all about that D. We're all about that 60 life, honey. Okay. Depth of emotion. This is something that people often miss when manifesting, and that doesn't mean you can't manifest without it, but this is going to fast track it. This is going to ignite it, which is why I love my 60 process. We need to go much deeper in emotionally believing it's here, not and the excitement that it's coming. So I want you to have like anticipatory excitement that it's coming. It's here. What's that feel like? Knowing that it's coming, what would you do knowing without a doubt the money, the business growth, the clients, the speaking opportunity, the bestseller, the books done, the podcast, the dream partner, the dream body, the car, whatever it is, that it is without a doubt coming. Like, kind of like you have a lotto ticket, you found out it's the winning number, and without a doubt, you bring that ticket into the office or however it works now, and you're going to get money. You either get the lump sum or you agree to have it cut up. What is it, like every month for X many years? By the way, I would absolutely take the lump sum because then you can invest that money and make more money than taking it in increments. But that's a whole nother conversation, the lotto conversation. So if you knew you had the ticket, right? You have a ticket in your hand that was bestowed upon you by the universe saying, here it is. Here's everything you asked for in your desires, your description. Here it is right here. How would you be feeling? How would you wake up every day? What would you go to bed doing? What kind of thoughts would you have? How would your beliefs shift? And keep putting yourself back in that mindset. You're not going to stay in that mindset. That's not realistic. This is why I have my abundance guided meditation walking series, which my summer abundance walks have dropped, and that's free right now for you. Also, inside the show notes, and it's linked in my bio on Instagram and Facebook. That's designed to shift you back into abundance, back into abundance. Just the more amount of minutes per day you spend in the abundant energy, of course, the better, period. That doesn't mean you have to be high vibe. I'm not, by the way, newsflash, I am not high vibe most of the time. I'm just not a high vibe person. I am a highly magnetic and operate at a high frequency, but I'm not like sunshine and rainbows boosting out of my ass. Like, I'm a realist. I'm a little sarcastic. I can't deny what I see. When I see there's bullshit, it's bullshit. Like, I'm not someone who's going, well, that person was rude. Maybe they're having a bad day. Like, it takes me a minute to get there where I'm like, okay, Tiffany, let's have patience and grace for them. Like, I have to talk to myself. So you don't need to be high vibe for this to work. Don't start stacking things in the way that you have to be this, you have to do this, you da 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 in order to have this. It's the depth of your emotional state of, oh, I know that I have this ticket in my hand. I have this ticket in my wallet. I have this ticket in my purse. I can go and cash it in at any time for everything I want. It's actually here. The day is here because the day will be here. I mean, I'm staring at the waves crashing right now. I used to walk up and down the strand when I was in my mid 20s going, oh my God, someday I'm going to have a house here. Someday I'm going to wake up to this. Someday I'm going to be able to see the ocean from my kitchen, from my couch, from my office, from my bedroom. Someday I'll have this and I'll have it because I created it, meaning like it's mine, like no one can take it away from me. And it's gonna feel so free and expansive and beautiful and luscious and exciting and empowering. And I have that now. Does that mean it like happens in a year? No. Could I have done this and afforded this about, I'd say 10 years ago? Absolutely. I could have. But sometimes other things have to happen for us to feel deserving and feel safe enough to desire and declare are manifestations before they happen. There's other things that are in the way. I had the money to absolutely have this beach house while having and maintaining a second house. But there was some other business that had to be attended to, which thank God it was, because I might not have appreciated it, or I might have gotten into such scarcity and fear and guilt and weirdness and lower frequency once I had it that I could have lost it. And I've already experienced that. If you're familiar with my story, right? I had $1 million in the bank by the time I was 30. And within 3 months of that hitting my bank account, I lost almost everything because I didn't do the depth of this abundance work, the abundance mindset stuff that I include in all of my programs, my mastermind, the posse, everything in working with me, because strategy and how to get there, I can give you those steps, make it very clear, but you don't do this other work and get rid of the rubbish and the shit that ends up clogging the drain and getting in the way, it can't get through. Look at any drain, a storm drain. There's a bunch of stuff in the way. The water goes all over the place. The abundance goes all over the place, but not to where you want it to go. And a lot of you have abundance leakage because of that. And so if you're not getting the thing that you want right now, it's not because it's not coming. It's not because you aren't worthy. It's not because manifestation doesn't work or doesn't work for someone like you. It's because you have stuff clogging the drain and you have abundance leakage going everywhere else except where you want it to go. And until that's cleared away, that's what's going to happen. But this is a beautiful starting point, and you can start again on any given day. This doesn't have to take years. If I knew what I knew today and I had someone like me teaching me, I would have been at this beach house many years ago. But it is what it is, so that I could end up being the person who has the podcast to teach you the things, because it was all supposed to be this way. And that's what I want you to keep trusting. It's supposed to be this way. But allow yourself, that's very vulnerable, to be in the emotion. You have that ticket. What does that feel like right now? You have that ticket. And it's like, holy shit, it's really here. Now, some of you are going to have your shit come up. Oh my God, how am I going to maintain this? I'm going to lose my family. People are going to be jealous of me. What's going to happen? This feels dangerous. Well, that's good that that stuff comes up, because now you can see some of the things that are clogging the drain. This is kind of like a backwards way of actually seeing your money blocks, is by sinking into the depth of emotion of what it is that you're desiring. I know this episode absolutely ignited some things in your brain where you're like, holy shit, you probably have to listen a few times, which is absolutely normal. Put that pen to paper. Go get a new special journal. My guess is you already have 52 of them in your house. Pick the one that calls to you. Pick the colored pen or writing utensil that calls to you, and just trust that you're supposed to use that one and let it come out. Do something different. Do the very thing you often are resisting is the very thing that you need to do, and let the emotions come out. Allow yourself to have that drain get unclogged. And oftentimes we need productive tears. We need emotion to come out in order to remove that debris, right? We've got to do that. I hope that you love this episode. I'm so curious what you think about, like, listening, but also hearing me do a solo episode feels really weird to me. And if anything, like, for the love of God, like, take a screenshot, share this on social media, share the show with someone. Let me know if you like this or if this felt weird to you, because it feels weird and super vulnerable to me. And that'd be really great. I would really appreciate that. And don't forget to leave the review so that you can get my brand new workbook for free that we will soon be charging for. And again, those summer abundance walks are also a free gift to you that are in the show notes. Stay tuned for part 2 for the other 3 Ds. Wishing you great health, wealth, and worth as always. Love you.